Hello! In view of the name of this smartphone, I could tie this introduction to the cult model of Rolls-Royce car, or to one of my favorite musicals, the Phantom of the Opera. Or I can just cut the introduction short. Today I have Tecno Phantom 9 in my hands, supposedly the flagship of the manufacturer. It has good and not so good qualities. But, looking ahead, overall it's pretty great. But first things first, let's go. It's always great when the manufacturer is not greedy. Inside the box, in addition to the smartphone itself, there is great silicone case with an intricate matte texture, a 2A charger, a charging cable and headphones. However, what's with the colors? Smartphone has a gradient that goes from dark turquoise to purple, but the cord and charger are white. The cover is great, the headphones are black. I'm not sure, maybe that's just my test model, but this is chaos. But the smartphone itself is really beautiful. In addition to the gradient I mentioned, there are barely noticeable diagonal lines. Everything is made of plastic, but it is so good that you don't even notice it. Sure, I've seen similar design 3000 million times, but I seem to have come to terms with it. What can you do? But I can't stand micro USB. They should have chosen Type-C for a flagship. But at least you get a mini jack. The back panel is reasonably empty. It's not Xiaomi, but there are a lot of cameras, as many as 3, but about them later. On the one front you get Corning Gorilla Glass 3 and fairly thin bezels. Not the thinnest, but at least it looks good. Above is a drop-shaped notch, but on the sides of it a truly unique feature. A dual frontal flash on the sides, but we will come back to it later. On the left is a slot for microSD card and 2 SIM cards. On the right is a lock button and a volume control. By the looks of it, a standard smartphone, but not without its highlights. The AMOLED screen has a diagonal of 6 and 39 inches and resolution of 2340 by 1080 with an aspect ratio of 19:5:9. The pixel density is 403 dpi. Quite an ordinary AMOLED, with all the characteristics features. In terms of brightness, everything is fine. There are no complaints in terms of color, viewing angles, terms of detail, universal display for every day. You can watch videos from Root Nation, read articles, and play. By the way, about games. Gentlemen and ladies, I need your advice. People told me absolutely wild and inconvenient thing. They ask, why do you always talk about PlayerUnknown's Battleground? There are, after all, other games besides it. I personally have not heard about them. So, if you know about the existence of at least one other game, write about it in the comments. So, PlayerUnknown's Battleground is working fine, but you can only choose low or balanced graphics settings. Everything else, they say, will soon be available for your device. And we have the following device, MediaTek Helio P35, 8 cores, PowerVR GE8320 and 6 gigs of RAM. The phone can do more, but the game itself has not yet been fully optimized. No matter how much I tried, the phone did not even become warm. You get 128 GB of storage, plus there is support for microSD cards with a capacity of up to 1 TB. Cameras: 16 megapixels f1.8 at 8 megapixel ultra-wide lens, f2 and 4, and 2 megapixel depth sensor with f2 and 8. The photos are good. The colors are a little twisted, but within reasonable limits. You can make videos in Full HD at 30 FPS. I would like to have the ability to make 4K videos, but no luck. All the features are here. Video, AI cam, beautification, by the way, it's good, with 6 degrees plus auto, bokeh. Exactly, bokeh. It works pretty well and misses very rarely. There is also AR, if you like such things, and panorama mode. At night you have to sleep and not make any photos, at least 8 hours, or better from dusk till dawn. The coolest thing about this camera, in my opinion, is super macro. Photos are great, even if a bit overexposed. Or maybe it's all but golden hands growing out of wrong places. Front camera 32 megapixels, f2 with a double flash. Even on the darkest night you will be illuminated evenly, which is great. In the light of day you can safely count on good pictures. The modes are essentially the same. All this stuff works from a battery with a capacity of 3500 mAh, and this Phantom can last for a day of intensive use. The software is Android 9, and as soon as I got the phone out of the box, it immediately demanded an update. After the update, I've got iOS version 5. I don't know what was there before. The interface is crammed with all sorts of useful stuff. It's very comfortable UI, having been using it actively for several days. I was constantly amazed by a number of its features. Security, under-display fingerprint sensor and face recognition. Both features work surprisingly accurately and quick. The only thing that, in my humble opinion, is sorely lacking in Tecno Phantom 9 is NFC. I tried my best to find out what's wrong with the device. No 4K, no NFC. And then I remembered that I did not know how much it costs. And the price, less than $250, makes all my issues sound unjustified. For such money, it would be difficult to find anything better. And the design is relevant. And the camera standards and the performance is in order, and the display is good, and there is a mini jack. It's not perfect, no, but damn good. And with this breakthrough, I remind you that it's worth subscribing to our channel and liking our video.